everybody, it's Judy. This week's More Than Enough Monday Mindset theme is agility. And do you notice that when you're having a big shift in your life and you know that change is underfoot, that you really lose that flexibility because you just want the change to either happen already or you just want to push it away because you don't have time for change right now. You don't have a time for a shift in your life. Well, here's the thing. It's kind of like being in the middle of the ocean and thinking that you can control the waves and you can stop them from going to shore. And that's not going to happen. So that's why I shared with you the story that I had with my client Rose, who realized that she had this pattern of always wanting to get busy and doing things because she felt that that would put her in a state of more ease. But it actually made her more anxious. The more doing and doing that she did, the more busy that she got, it actually made her more anxious because she was worried about the future. And here's the thing, I also know at a deeper level, she realized that it was a fear of not doing enough, not being enough, that she wasn't enough as she was. She wasn't doing enough, doing a good enough job to approve of herself. So she really got to that point of saying, enough is enough, I'm going to try something different. And the key distinction here is that she realized that she really wanted to make that shift. So that shift is all about welcoming in the ease and grace and agility. So that's why I created this agility roadmap. Now, here's the thing I know. One of the best advantages that we have in life and business is being able to anticipate the road ahead. Because it's kind of like playing a game that you're really good at. Maybe you're good at chess, maybe you're good at backgammon or checkers, I don't know. But when you can play a game to a level that you can anticipate what move your client, what your opposition is going to make, and then you can kind of bob and weave through it, that gives you a sense of confidence, right? It gives you a sense of flexibility, of ease and agility. You can bob and weave a lot quicker, right? Because you have that agility. So the roadmap that I've created is a great advantage for you because it decreases your sense of resistance and stress. 3 phases. First phase is the void. Second phase is the vision. Third phase is the flow. So when you look at the first phase, it's all about being in that sacred void of, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going on here. It seems like everything is falling apart. It's like having a table of puzzle pieces and you've lost the cover to the puzzle. You don't know what the pieces are supposed to, what image the puzzle pieces are supposed to create. And you're just in that state of total ambiguity and uncertainty. Have you been there? I know I have. And we tend to want to push through it, or we want to rush through it at the same time. So there's that push and pull kind of action that we have, and it puts us in a cycle of anxiousness. So if in this phase of the void, you can be okay with not knowing and just get still, that's the best way to get through the void. And the void may take a week, it may take a day, it may take a month, but being in the void and getting still is going to really support you. Because when you're in that stillness, there's an ability to get actual intuitive information or just notice things in a different way. So think about when you're in that void, you can't get out of it. You can't push your way out of it. You can't rush your way out of it. And the key distinction here in the More Than Enough method is to allow things to unfold. As much as you think that you're doing a whole lot of stuff in this world, a lot of times you're actually in a little, it's like an amusement park type of bumper car where you think you have control of the wheel, but you don't. Right? We go through life thinking that we control everything, but we don't. Be in that sacred void. Be okay with just things unfolding. Because I also know that some of the most successful leaders that I've ever met also have amazing capacity to allow ambiguity and uncertainty to be in their space, to be able to hold space in the phase of uncertainty and the void. But you'll also notice that naturally there is an ease of going into curiosity. You start being curious about all the different points of interest that show up. That's when you know you're going into the second phase of the vision. That's when you have all those puzzle pieces on the table and they start fitting together. And you start to see what the picture of success is supposed to look like. And those puzzle pieces, when they come together, you have that sense of alignment where you just start to feel like, oh yeah, that's exactly what I need to do next. And that's when you naturally go into the next phase. But before we go there, I want to make a few points about being in this stage of the vision. The key distinction in the More Than Enough method is to get alignment. And alignment happens from the inside out. If you start looking for the answers outside of you, and you think that other people are going to tell you where you're supposed to go or how to get out of the void or how to get a clear vision, it's really counterproductive. You need to get clear on the inside. And when that happens, you will be able to feel that sense of motivation and willpower to easily go into the next phase of the flow, which is all about action so that you can get your result. So, going into that next phase of the flow, you have motivation, you have will, you notice that, there's certain helpful people that are showing up, certain resources are showing up, and it's like, wow, you just start taking steps and things start feeling, like you're in the flow. But you also notice, and you have to anticipate that as soon as you step out of your comfort zone, as soon as you start to declare that you want to do something different in your life, you're going to notice opposition. Because the law of nature is that any force is met with an equal and opposing force. So if you are pushing or you are stepping into a new phase or a new identity or a new strategy for your business, you'll notice that there'll be opposition, and sometimes it's from your internal sense of resistance. So sometimes the resistance is internal, sometimes it's external, but you have to anticipate that too, even when you're in the flow. Because when you're in the flow, do you notice that, when you think of flow, it's like a river? The river also encounters rocks and changes and curves and elevation and drops, right? You may have a waterfall, right? So think about the flow is not always there's no straight line to the ocean, right? The river has to flow and it has to unfold. So allow that flow to happen. But know and anticipate that there's going to be rocks and there's going to be changes and curves. And that's okay too. Keep your eye on the vision of what you think success looks like, and that will get you to your result. And don't give up, because hey, rivers don't give up, right? Now, some of you are probably saying to yourself, yeah, but Judy, I really need to know now. Like, I don't have time to wait for the void and the vision and the flow. I don't have time. I have to do that right now. Well, here's the thing. You don't have a choice because you're not in control. And the other thing is, I also know the more pressure that you put on yourself of having to know right now, that pressure creates more stress. More stress has you wanting to do more. More doing more creates more overcommitment. When you're overstressed and overcommitted, you're not as effective as you can possibly be. So, in this moment, I want you to be, if you're open to the possibility that you can actually be in that place of being open to the possibility and knowing too that there's actual research that shows good stress, right? There is a certain stress that we can get that makes us competitive, that actually gives us an edge. But once you tip over that point of overstress and you're in the grip and you're pushing, there's many things that decrease. Research shows that your decision making goes down, your creativity goes down, and your results actually go down. And it becomes a vicious cycle that you start trying to do and push, and it creates more stress, and you just create that cycle even more, and it gets harder and harder to get the result that you want. I know this from experience. I know this from watching my clients do it too. So what I want for you is that this agility roadmap supports you to anticipate the road ahead, know what phase you're in, because when you're in the phase that you're in, you can accept what you're supposed to be doing and where you are, right? When you're in phase 1, it's all about being, in the void and being still. When you're in phase 2, it's all about connecting the dots, allowing the dots and the pieces of the puzzle to fit together. And in phase 3, all you need to know is that the river's going to flow, and sometimes it's going to hit rocks, and sometimes it's going to make a left turn, then a right turn. And to be in the flow, it's really that key distinction of knowing that the river's going to eventually meet the ocean if you don't give up, if you don't get off the river. So, have an amazing week with lots of agility. I can't wait to hear any stories that you have, any examples that you have, and I wish you an amazing week. And also, in case you haven't noticed, on Facebook, just about every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday, I am posting 1-minute updates about this topic every week. So, let's meet on Facebook in the Facebook group that I'm creating, and I'll give you more information about that soon. In the meantime, again, have an amazing Agile week, and I look forward to seeing you on next More Than Enough Monday Mindset. Have a great one. Bye for now.